you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel.
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
All right, so Wi-Fi has been an issue at the University of Oklahoma's football games, Owen Field, because Wi-Fi be trash, bro. And I got awoken to this by one of my favorite follows on Twitter. This is Derek Morton. You can follow him on Twitter at MortonLB53. Derek, what's up, man?
Oh, chilling, man. What's good?
Nothing. So, like, they put out this press release on the Sooner Sports website talking about, hey, we're expanding the Wi-Fi. So it's not as if they didn't have Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi would be trash. And the reason that I thought this was a big deal is because I follow Derek's feed, particularly around OU football season, but also during Dallas Cowboys games because it's just awesome. But I wanted to ask him how big a deal this is to him. First, how long you been a season ticket holder, Derek?
Going on 6 years. It'll be 7 this year.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
So he's had them since basically being a teenager, which is ridiculous. So you could be a season ticket holder for like 50 plus years.
That's the plan.
That's what's up. Do not tread on my man's credentials. All right, so why is this a big deal to you that the Wi-Fi is being expanded throughout the stadium?
Well, for one thing, when you go to games, I mean, it's cool and all, but you don't really get all the inside depth that you get with like a TV broadcast. So, if 1 minute we might notice a player's out and we don't know what's going on, and kind of like the situation in UCLA this past year, Rodney was out. We couldn't figure out what was going on. I couldn't get a text out. I couldn't get Twitter to load. I was frustrated. We were up 35-7, and I was pissed off in the stands for no reason. And so expanding the Wi-Fi kind of gives those people that spend the money to go to the games the ability to have that extra little bit to know exactly what's going on during the game.
Okay, no, that's a really great take. So, like, where are you sitting? Like, where are your seats?
My seats are on the upper deck on the west side, section 105. And we're kind of up there. We can see everything. We don't really know what else is going on other than we see the ball fly and we score, and that's it.
So this is interesting because I'm watching the TV broadcast, and you see, Rodney might be out there walking around in street clothes, and that gets tweeted out because, the guys that cover this beat are very good at covering this beat, and I know them personally. So I can only imagine what it would be like, because I'm big on Twitter during the games. Like, I love it because we're instant reaction. Everybody has something to say. I'm usually there with stats and also going, come on. But I can only imagine being in that stadium and the acute frustration in the age that we live in that you cannot get the immediate information. So, like, who else is yelling around you?
Well, like, the people that sit around me, it's all the same people. It has been for the last couple of years. And we're all just kind of the same thing. Where it's like, do you know what's going on? Do you know what's going on? So it's just like mass confusion until one of us finally gets a single bar and comes up with some information.
A single bar? Oh, my God. All right, so once you get the single bar and somebody comes up with that information, does that stop you from trying to load Twitter?
Absolutely not, because if it's bad news, I don't want to believe them. I'm trying to find what JD has to say, or you, or anybody else.
So with that in mind, right, and now that you know that they're expanding the Wi-Fi across the stadium, how do you think that that's going to enhance the game experience for season ticket holders?
I think it'll be a positive thing. Like I said, the guys that are dragging their girls to the game that don't really want to be there, they can get on, the social media thing and do whatever they want, where, fans like me and my pops will be able to, check the games that we've, we're degenerate gamblers, so we're always checking scores. So we'll be able to, check in what Toby's not really, showing on the screen during the game. We'll be able to check stats live instead of having to wait for the board to scroll by on the sidelines. And I think overall it'll help people be more in depth to the game and pay more attention.
So interestingly, I have this to put forward. You're at this game, tailgating all intent. It's a day-long thing. But let's say you're in the stadium for about 4 hours. So you don't know what else is going on throughout college football unless it is shown on that Jumbotron, right?
Exactly.
How frustrating is it to be there doing that?
It's beyond frustrating because I don't know if I'm losing my tail or if I'm winning money or if Texas is still losing because they're not back yet. I mean, it is because at halftime, you're thinking, okay, everybody's going to the concessions. We're going to get a little bit of service. We'll be able to pump out like 10 minutes of Twitter and figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, everybody else has this same idea, and so they get on their phones, and there's no service unless you're sitting in the south end zone where all the new stuff is, and they've got all the Wi-Fi, and I've tried to hack in. It doesn't work.
All right, so inevitably I have to ask this question. Knowing what you know about living in 2019, how we can have all of these games on our various screens, like I'm a YouTuber. I pay for YouTube TV. I pay for YouTube Premium. There's a lot of us that don't have cable and cord cut. There are better ways to some to watch this game from your living room in your skivvies. Why do you insist on keeping your season tickets?
Oh man, you can't beat the atmosphere. Being around other Sooner fans with the same mindset, and then your friends and everybody else around you, there's nothing like a Sooner home game. I mean, you'll probably hear that from every other school, but they're lying to you. There's nothing like an Oklahoma home game. The tailgating, the food, the booze, the people, like it's just everything is so fun. Everybody's nice. They're inviting. It doesn't matter. Like you got the away teams coming in. We partied with Ohio State people, UCLA fans. It's just so much fun. And I hate away games that I can't get to because I'm just stuck at the couch and, I got to take care of the dogs or something like that. I don't get to party.
So I got to lay this out for people that don't understand. So I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. How much do you pay for your season tickets? And let everybody know you are not a millionaire. You don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and that this is something that you save up for, and it means that much to you to get your 6 home games.
All right. Well, if we're going to lay it out,
okay.
I work 3 jobs.
Okay.
I work for the University of Oklahoma Health Science Center as a HVAC tech. I work as a Little League umpire, and then like every now and then I'll get a call to come work security at a bar. So I don't have a 6-figure job or a trust fund or anything like that. Basically, I use all my money from my umpiring, and that's how I pay for my season tickets. I work every weekend in the summer for cash, and the last 2 years, it's averaged out to around $600 just for my ticket. So for me and my dad, both, it's about $1,200 to $1,300.
How do you feel when you look at the home schedule and you see a South Dakota State, a Missouri State, where you're expecting to see, at the very least, another version of Houston or another, perhaps, UCLA, and in a couple of years, Nebraska?
I mean, after this year, we got a 7th home game this year. So, having South Dakota on there is kind of boring. But then you remember, like, hey, we got an extra home game this past year. It'll be all right. It's going to be an easy dub. And we'll get to watch Jalen Hurts ball out for, a half or a quarter, whatever it is. So it's not that big of a deal because, again, it's that Sooner game day. Like, there's nothing like it. We could be playing, the children of the poor, and we're still going to be out there telling you how bad we're going to whoop you.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Derek Morton, a.k.a. Demo. Follow him on Twitter at MortonLB53. He's one of my favorite follows on Twitter. I follow a bunch of y'all, and now I know that people are going to just hit me up going like, yo, why Derek? Well, because Derek has some unique insight about something that I was very passionate about and want to talk with him about. That's why. And I appreciated him taking his time out to talk with me and to give his perspective on this Wi-Fi be trash, bro, and the season ticket experience, which I know that Oklahoma is going to put a lot of emphasis on because they don't have a choice anymore. Thanks, Derek.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.